It's huge. This is a huge appointment. The World Trade Organization has for many years not really done what it's supposed to do. We haven't heard much of it. Global trade issues have been hanging for a long time. And so we have this dynamic woman who is passionate about trade, passionate about the economy, passionate about global equity. And so I know that she will turn this organization into a dynamic organization that plays a very pivotal role in world trade.
And obviously seeing yourself represented, very, very important. So what about the fact that she's an African woman now taking this head role?
It means a lot. It really does, because for the African continent, if you look at just intra-Africa trade, it's less than 16%. And if you look at trade between Africa and the rest of the world, it's very, very small as well. And also in terms of the equitable trade between Africa and the rest of the world, that's been a huge issue. And so this is, I know personally, because I sit on the Presidential Economic Advisory Council with Dr. Iwela, and she has mentioned this, that it needs to change. We need equitable trade, and the world can't grow equitably without prioritizing developing countries. So I think that she understands the issues. She's played various roles, both domestically on the continent and also internationally in international organizations. So she is really well equipped to take on this role, and also to speak on behalf of the African continent and also developing countries.
And she really does bring a wealth of experience to this role, not just as an economist, also a former finance minister of Nigeria, other positions that she's also held, including at the World Bank. How do you see that serving her in a role at the WTO, especially given that she's now coming in the middle of a pandemic and amid global tensions when it comes to even the world's two biggest economies at a trade standoff?
Yeah, I think that, you're right. She brings a wealth of experience. She understands the global dynamics. Many of the people that she will interact with, she's interacted with them previously as the finance minister in Nigeria and also at the World Bank. So this is really her forte, and she will be able to navigate the really treacherous environment that the world is currently finds itself in. And it's not that she just, she also has been playing a role at Gavi. So in terms of, she's very well knowledgeable of issues like vaccines and again, how certain countries have been left behind, the intellectual property issues that we're grappling with the World Trade Organization. And I actually think that is going to be the most interesting one for me, because she has said that, from a Gavi perspective, they've been looking at how the vaccines have been disseminated and this vaccine nationalism. But the issue here is the World Trade Organization, where African countries and also a few other developing countries have appeared or approached the World Trade Organization to waiver some of the intellectual property issues that are stifling the development of the vaccine in certain countries. So that really will be her biggest challenge.
Just quickly, in terms of her top priorities, obviously she's going to have to hit the ground running. What do you think her top priorities are going to be, especially, as you mentioned, given the other items on the WTO's agenda?
I think, ensuring that the China-US trade issue is diffused, because that just doesn't have an impact on the two countries. It has an impact on the world. If you look at South Africa, for instance, we've had issues with importing certain products that come from China because of the US sanctions. And so supply chains have been disrupted as a result of that. So, and China is a huge export market and a huge import market, particularly for African countries. So I think that is something that she needs to prioritize and really hit the road running on this very issue.